Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Anna's Kitchen. Now for today's video, I'll be doing chicken and shrimp casserole. First off, I'm going to fill my saucepan halfway and add 1 tablespoon of salt, and that is going to be used to boil my starch. You will see in the next clip. So for my staple or starch, I'm going to be using 3 Irish potato and half of an sweet potato. Now I'm going to peel these and put it aside, and then I'm going to peel the sweet potato, and after all of them has been peeled, then I'm going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. The starch that I use are optional. You can use yam, dasheen, whatever it is that you want to use. You can even use macaroni. Yeah, you just want a base basically. Now after that, I'm going to rinse them. I did this twice. So here I'm just showing you me cutting up the sweet potato and the Irish into bite-sized pieces. I cut them as small as possible, but not too small. The reason I cut them this size is because you don't really want a big chunk in the slices when you slice in the casserole, and this makes it more easier to put together. Yeah, you will see further down in the video. Guys, I'm just gonna ask you to make sure you thumbs up the video, share with your friends, and just keep sharing it basically, because each one tell one is what I'm going for right now. Alright, stay tuned to the end of the video to see the final product. After I finish mincing my starch, I'm going to add that to the pot. By now the water should be boiling, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to be cutting my seasoning into small cubes or mince. You can mince them if you would like them to be minced. Yeah, I'm going to use 2 different sweet pepper for colors. I'm going to use half of an onion, half of an Scotch Bonnet Pepper, and I'm going to mince my scallion and thyme. After I finish mincing my seasoning, I'm going to check on the potatoes to make sure that they are finished. If they are finished, then I'm going to take it off, drain it, and set it aside for it to be cool. In a frying pot, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil, and then I'm going to be sauteing my seasoning for about 1 minute. So after the 1 minute, I add half pound of shrimp that I've cut into smaller pieces. I use 1 shrimp and cut that into 5 pieces. So after that, I'm just going to stir that around, and then I'm going to add my chicken breast. I went ahead off camera and deboned my chicken breast and cut that into cubes. Now this is the breast that I'm adding to the pot, and then I'm going to just give that a stir. I added 1 more tablespoon of oil to this because I didn't want it sticking. After which I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and couple dashes of garlic powder. Now we're going to give this a stir, and then you can taste it if it's seasoned to your perfection. If not, you can add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and then stir it again and taste it. And this is how it looks when it is finished. You only want to cook this for about 3 minutes because it's going in the oven, so you don't want to overcook. Now in a saucepan, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to melt that down We're doing a white sauce or a cheese sauce, whichever one you prefer for this. So you need 2 tablespoons of butter, after the 2 tablespoons of butter has been melted down, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to just stir that around until the butter soaks up the flour, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of milk while stirring. I'm just going to continue stirring the sauce because I don't want any flour lumps in it. Alright, now I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, and I'm going to give that a stir. And for this recipe, for the seasoning part of it, you can add or take. So basically you can just tweak it to suit you. Before adding the cheese, that was the white sauce recipe. If you want a cheese sauce recipe now, you're going to add 1/4 cup of cheese. I use white cheddar cheese to that. You can use mozzarella cheese or whatever cheese, whatever white cheese of your choosing. I add 1 slice of Monterey Jack, and you just want to stir it around to ensure that all the cheese melt properly and there's no clumps in it. Yeah, I know I said a lot of cheese a while ago, but who doesn't love cheese? Now, I was going to layer the casserole, but I changed my mind. So just don't pay this clip any mind. We're just going to add our staple, which is the Irish potato and the sweet potato, all of it to the bottom, and then I'm going to add half of my cheese sauce to this mixture and just stir it or mix it until it's combined. Guys, comment below if you want my sister to voice over more of the videos. Here is where I'm adding half of the cheese sauce and just mixing it until it's combined. Now we're saving the other half of the cheese sauce to go on top when everything is finished before we add more cheese. So right here I am adding some of my meat kind, which is the shrimp and the chicken, and I'm going to stir that in also, mixing it until it's combined gently because we don't want to mash out the sweet potato and the Irish potato because it's not mashed potatoes. Now we're going to add the other half on top and just even that out. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and like the video. The subscribe button should be gray and the like button should be blue if it's not. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. Here I'm adding the next half of my cheese sauce. I'm basically finishing up the casserole. Yes, I just add the next half of the cheese sauce and distribute it as evenly as possible on top, and then I'm going to add some slices of Monterey Jack. I used about 4 slices. So you just use as much slices as you want to cover the top. So of course we're going to add more cheese on top of this, which is my mozzarella cheese, my grated mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to cover the entire top with it, making sure that it's even, and then I'm going to add just a dash of breadcrumbs, not much because I don't really like it, but I didn't want my cheese to look a certain type of way, and I add it also for color. So yeah. Alright, so after I add a little bit of the breadcrumbs to that, I'm going to place it in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes or until the top is golden brown. This is the finished product, guys. Now, I was fighting to take a slice out of it because I used a round dish instead of a square one, but it eventually came out, and this is how it looked when I played it with my garnish, Hope you guys continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. It's above there. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.